If you're new to this channel, welcome. We're all about sharing cool music stuff based on interval theory. My name is Frank, and I'm a professional composer. Our topic today is film noir. I want to play the example first, before we unpack what's actually going on. Here's the first trick. I like to think of my roots as temporary tonal centers. This allows me to assign different scales to those roots. The first line, that's everything on the C root, follows the mixolydian with a raised fourth scale step. And for the second line, I pick the Dorian over the F. That also explains why the accidentals change. It's all based on scale tones, but I switch from one tonal center to the next. This note marked in red is an exception. That's a chromatic alteration that leaves the scale, but it creates a wonderful chromatic line that goes into the A flat. One possible next step could be a chord progression, but let's do something different instead. I replace the whole triad section with an ostinato. This creates a nice horizontal push already. Here's what this sounds like. Next, let's cover one of my favorite techniques, harmonization. And this is also a great moment to talk about chords. We'll use 4-part ninth chords and their resolution. But do you still remember the trick about temporary tonal centers? Let's do this once more and cut each bar in half. So now we have C going to D, going back to C, and so on. Let's listen to this example before we label some of the chords. I wanted to use ninth chords, right? The first guideline I follow when harmonizing a line is if the melody tone is part of the chord, fill in the remaining chord tones. Here, the melody tone is scale tone 5. So let's add the missing chord tones. Scale tones 3, -7, and 9. The same thing happens on the next structure. The melody tone is scale tone 9, so I simply add the missing ones like 3, 5, and -7. In the second half of the bar, I follow the same concept, but now I base my thinking on the D root tone. And that makes the melody tone above into scale tone 9 already. So again, let's add scale tones 3, 5, and -7 below. The last structure is the full resolution of the ninth chord. And in particular, it's a minor triad with an added scale tone -6. Let's listen to the full piece, and after that, I'll even highlight a bonus technique. Let's look at this run. That's another great opportunity to use intervallic thinking. It might look random to you, but this is based on 1 plus 2. The numbers represent chromatic steps from one note to the next. I wrote this after the fact and in reverse. Let's start from the A and go backward, and you'll spot the pattern. The same thing is true for the low line. It alternates between 2s and 1s. If you want to learn more about the full implementation of interval theory, please check out the link below. Many thanks for your time, and best always.